So we're going to jump right in. You want to start off by placing T-pins around the closure or the frontal piece that you're replacing. I'm using a box cutter knife to go ahead and cut the thread from the closure piece and from the tracks. You want to be really careful with this to make sure that you are only cutting the thread. The T-pins are to keep your wig from moving when you cut off the closure piece so that everything can be the same for when you replace it. They're very, very important. Once you get enough of the thread cut off, it is okay to go ahead and use scissors, or you can continue to use the box cutter. The decision is up to you. Now I am taking the new closure piece and I am stretching it out to make it fit where the old closure piece was. This is a 2x6 closure, so it's going to look a little different from a 4x4, but you will follow the same process for a 4x4 or a frontal. The key to this is to work in parts, so you want to stretch out the front of the closure as much as you can to make sure it covers up the hole from the previous closure. Then you are going to sew one side at a time. So I'm going to start sewing just to get it attached. It's not going to fill all of the holes while you're stretching it out. So do not panic if you cannot stretch out the closure right away. Just bear with me. So you guys see I'm just kind of lining everything up again. I did go ahead and pin one side of the closure, the side that I'm not going to be sewing down. So you want to pin that side down, and then you're going to go back to the side that you started on and you're going to start sewing, okay? So like I said, we are working in parts. I am sewing one side down first, and I am pulling the needle through the loop that I make to create a knot. You see I am checking to make sure that it will still stretch. And I'm just sewing all the way until I get to the back. Once I get to the back, I cut the thread. This is the thread that I'm using. You don't want to sew around the whole closure. You want to do each side at a time. Do the back last, okay? This is the only way it's going to work. Now I am starting on the other side of the closure, and I'm doing the same thing that I did. You want to use your T-pins and just the thread itself to pull everything all together. Make sure there are no loops, no lumps. You want to sew close enough together so that there is a flat closure. Again, I am making a loop and I'm pulling through the loop. Make sure you're pulling the closure and the tracks together. And now that we are getting towards the back, you're going to see that there is some space. All you have to do at that point is pull the tracks back, and it's a perfect fit. If you just keep those T-pins in place, I'm telling you, everything's going to work out perfectly. Look at that space. That is the perfect amount of space left for that closure, and that is because we worked in parts. So you want to make sure you pull the closure as tight as you can in the front, sew one side down at a time, and sew the back last. do exactly what I did, your wig is going to come out great. Just showing you all what it looks like. Now we are going to go ahead and sew the closure onto the tracks. This wig and all of my wigs are made by sewing machines, so I always like to close up my wigs just to make sure that it's going to be seamless. It's going to stay together forever. Make sure you braid the hair and get the hair out of the way before you start sewing. I do remove the extra piece off the sewing machine to make it easier for me. As you see, it gets smaller once you remove that piece. And then you just sew around the closure piece. Make sure you backstitch that first piece so it won't come up. Now that I am done sewing, I'm going ahead and putting it back on the mannequin head after I cut out the excess thread on the inside. It still fits amazing. It fits the mannequin head exactly how it used to. So we're going to go ahead and comb out the curls and get ready for install. And this is the outcome of the wig after it's installed. The lace is beautiful. It blends very well with her skin. This is the 18-inch mink Brazilian natural wave wig, and it can be purchased from the Tailored Hair collection. Thank you for watching.